What's going on, brothers? Today we have a special interview here on the O'Shea Vlog Cast channel. One of the reasons why I named the channel O'Shea Vlog Cast is because I'm doing vlogs on here, and also we have podcasts and interviews from brothers who are really concerned about the Black Male Initiative and getting Black men together and seeing Black men do better. And I don't know anybody out in the Black male YouTube space that has done this for as long as this brother that I'm going to introduce. Certainly, he's had such a impact on my life for me just knowing him and hearing his videos. The first video I've ever heard from him was the Suit and Tie Brother. Was a classic video, and we know him by many names. Q, Alpha Male Wisdom, Mr. Research, and brother, I'm just so glad to have you on the podcast. It's always an honor. You are a master teacher, so glad to have you here to share with the brothers today. What's going on, man?
Man, everything's good, and I'm here to help, man. You know, my whole thing is try to give people some wisdom that I didn't have, because that's one thing we as Black males need to do more is share where the pitfalls are.
Let's kind of start before we get into the show, because a lot of people don't know your background and some of the obstacles that you grew up in with Oakland. So for those people who don't know you, let's kind of get into a little bit about how you kind of grew up, what experiences that you had. So just to let everybody know that you're really about what you say you're about.
Okay. So I've been a 3.8 honor student ever since kindergarten. Grew up in West Oakland, infamous West Oakland. Grew up in and around Acorn. Went to McClymonds, got kicked out of McClymonds, one of the most violent schools in West Oakland, because I was doing, even though I maintained my 3.8 status for the hood, and I had to do hood survival stuff, like fight and all that type of stuff. It was around that time that I got to, even though I grew in a 2-parent home, there was some difficulty, you know, because one of my parents fell victim to some drugs temporarily. So they're in the streets with a pistol and making things happen. And so because I worked out all the time, you know, I got some notoriety. I was cool with everybody. And it got to the point where I decided, you know what? I'm 16, I got 60 G's. Why am I here? You know, why am I here? That's when I first started realizing, like, why am I even here? And, you know, I went and bounced, and I went up to Seattle, met a couple of people, and didn't know nobody in Seattle except one person who used to be in Oakland. And then from there, man, started making connections. I got to meet Ken Griffey Jr., got to meet Sir Mix-a-Lot. And then the power of brothers putting me on, they introduced me to other people who happen to be non-Black people who hooked me up to get into rigging concerts, you know, so I got to be a rigger. And that's how I got to live overseas for 4 years, because we were putting up concert stage. And when I came back to America, I happened to get into medical. You know, didn't even want the job, but I happened to get into it, and I found myself being good at it. I reinvested in myself. That was the number one thing, what you hear me say on my channel. I got my paycheck, found out that I can get a certification. I reinvested in myself. So the first thing I got was the RHIT, which is for medical records. And I started building from that. I started self-teaching myself, because like I said, I was 3.8 honor student. So there's no such thing as intelligence, really, to me. There is the ability to recall. And in medical, you know, you got to recall information. And from there, I got a CPAR. From there, I got a CPC, and from there, I got a CSS. And then I went into medical finance, which is brothers like yourself in medical. You need somebody to do all your bills. You need to make sure that nobody messes up your NPI, which is your provider number. You can be doing everything right, but if I'm not doing your numbers right, the federal government's going to contact O'Shea and revoke his license. So those things became important to the medical field. And I realized, wait a minute, these people are paying way better for these certifications than they did for a degree. And I just start perfecting my craft, which is the final thing I want to say. I perfected my craft.
Mm-hmm. Let's kind of go into the title of this particular show. It's a warning to black men: things are about to drastically change. Now that we have a little bit of a background of who you are and where you came from, why did you want to talk about this particular topic today?
Because I'm a political person, and I see with the tax cuts that just happened, there's about to be a drastic change. I kind of predicted this was going to happen last year.
You sure
That's
did.
why
Yeah.
I kept saying the latter part of November is going to be a bad look. Got to be prepared. You won't be affected because you're out of the country. But the people who are going to have to deal with the hike in taxes, the drop in homes, like for those people in California, their homes are about to get dropped because the taxes are going to go up. And for those people who just got into those $600 million homes, those are about to get drastically dropped because the taxes are going to go start going up. Some people are not going to be able to keep it. And you know, with all the immigrants here and them sticking together, and you know, I say this on my channel all the time: black males are the only group, O'Shea, that don't stick together.
Mm-hmm.
No, you say about females, they're sticking together. Asians sticking together, Latins sticking together. Black males, if they're not careful, the upscale guys who are making upscale money, you, me, a couple of others, we're going to survive. All the hustlers are starting to fall by the wayside. Here's my last point. Look at how black male homelessness has increased over the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm. That's also true. And there's like what I believe last time I saw, it's like 2 million black men, like not even accounted for, missing, something like that.
Right. When you and I grew up in California, we barely saw homeless people. And most of the time when we saw them, they were white. Is that correct?
That's true. That's true.
You haven't been here for a minute. Yo, it's probably 95% black people living up on the bridge in tents.
Mm-hmm.
Ask your people back in Sacramento how the Bay Area looks with the homeless. It has quadrupled.
Mm.
And
Wow.
mostly black people.
Well, you did predict this. I
Oh, go ahead.
remember you talking about it last year. Since things are about to change for brothers, some people might say, "Well, okay, I'm not from California. I live in Texas. I live in Atlanta.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I don't understand what you're saying." Well, what do you have to say to those brothers who don't live on the West Coast, but they live somewhere on down south?
Absolutely. So I have a house in Atlanta, so I understand that. The problem is some places like a Texas is so controlled to where they will be probably the last people to feel the effects. But
Mm-hmm.
what's people saying? How California goes, the rest of the nation goes. And the problem is that even though they might not be feeling it now, it's going to trickle down unless they are protected. And here's what I mean by protected. You're not going to be able to have just a little job anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to automate as much of those little jobs as possible. And because you don't have the protection of unions anymore, like you used to,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have to deal with low wages. Right now in California, our minimum wage is better than the minimum wage of the guys in Atlanta. Atlanta's only making $6 to $9 an hour.
Wow.
That's their minimum wage. So when you're talking about a Texas, which might be doing Texas will probably be the better of all the southern states because they are like a country unto their own. I don't know what theirs is, but I know Arlington does good, Houston does decent, But someplace like Florida, that's not doing good. Most of the jobs there, including Miami, are retail or hotel jobs. Ask anybody from Florida. So there's not a lot of people with career jobs. And this is why I say it's about to get real drastic for brothers. We don't have black men pulling each other in positions like we should.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have black men protecting each other with unions like we should. So you're going to see it when you come back to America and you start getting your career. You're going to be a black man unto yourself. You're going to be like a pea in a great lake, a pebble in a great lake.
Let me ask you this. For those brothers who are now hearing what you were saying, what do you propose that these brothers can start doing to avoid these particular problems?
You have to look at which careers have longevity. You have to look at which investments have longevity. So let's say Bitcoin that everybody's talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with you getting in Bitcoin. Just know what the longevity is because it's still an unproven thing thus far. A lot of things have started out great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that started here in California started off great. Google driverless cars started out great, but a lot of things did not pan out. So you're going to have to protect yourself. That's my key thing. Protect yourself, protect yourself. And if you don't have either a great career, I'm not talking about a job, or a great investment, real estate, owning land, that type of stuff, then it's going to be a headache come 2018. You're going to be like, what the hell just happened? And these tax cuts do not help. We're adding 1.7 trillion on top of what we already have. That's ridiculous. And then the middle class is going to have to pay for it per Mitch McConnell.
So let me ask you this, because you're very focused on, and I see we have 174 brothers right now watching. I appreciate that. Let's do me a favor and get the likes up on the video for those of you that are on the live video. You know, you always tell black men, I hear this on your videos, black men, protect yourself. Protect yourself. This is something that you always talk about. Protect yourself. Black men, I don't think they really understand when you say this as if they have a backup plan. Compared to black women, why is it more important for black men to be protecting themselves, even though they're American citizens in the United States of America?
Okay, so during my stint in Atlanta, when the recession hit, I was working a job. Okay. It was in medical, but it was a job. It wasn't a career yet. And I fell victim and I became homeless. And I was like, okay, well, no problem. I'll bounce back because I know how to do quite a few things. Nobody was hiring at that time. And it was drastic. And when I hit the homelessness, I realized there's not a lot of homeless shelters and homeless bounce backs for men. And I thought, you know, because you hear all the time, you know, you can get this, you can get that. No, you can't. You have to dig into your SSI just to get equal to what women get. Women homeless, they have 3, 4, 5 shelters in one area. Well, the guy might only have one. So you can imagine if you have 1,000 homeless guys, which was the case in the shelter down by Olympic Park, you have to get in just to get a good night's sleep before all the beds are filled up. Where the ladies got several shelters. And here's why. And here's a direct answer to your question.
Mm-hmm.
Because women, when they make money, they reinvest in women's stuff. Women, when they go get that job, they make sure that they send subscription money once a month, $20, $400, whatever they making, back into their women's shelters. And men, or 30% investors into women needs.
Wait. Say that again. Say the whole thing again. I don't think these guys called it. Talk about women shelters, women investing back in their shelters, and then men investing in the women. Can you go ahead and say that again?
When I was homeless, what I realized is, after talking and why we don't have no beds, what's going on, and all these women's shelter, I got the information that women would reinvest into women's shelters or women programs to get them to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Even women with children had beds, had programs to bounce back. Then I found out a bunch of men were donating money to these women causes because they had daughters or they had a mama that went through it or whatever. But the same energy was not given to the men bouncing back and the men in their program.
Mm-hmm.
I know because once I bounced back out of that situation, I became a donor. And I'm like, people rarely would donate to the men's situation. And this is the problem. And if you're a guy and you go hit rock bottom or something, and you don't have that family structure, and this is why family structure is important too, why Latinos believe in it and Irish people believe, because when you do have those problems, you're able to reach to that family structure and they can slingshot you back up.
Let me kind of talk about this real quick because you're making some great points. Black men, if you look at us in the United States of America, we are, in comparison to most countries, we are a wealthy group. If you take all the black male salaries, we have at least $600 billion spending power. And shout out to Man of Tomorrow, $100. Wow. Homeless is big business. I invest heavily in this. I was also homeless at one time. Wow. And that brother's a millionaire now. So shout out to Man of Tomorrow. Also shout out to my man Harry Mingo, who's in Africa. He's from New York, but another big donor. I appreciate you, Man of Tomorrow. And we have a Black Friday show coming. So we'll be on the lookout for that, brothers. Let's look at this. We have a spending power between $500 to $600 billion. That's more than the economy of Ukraine. It's more than even Nigeria. Why, as a group of black men, are we not able to capitalize on such a big spending power in which we could really dominate the global scale?
Because we have an S on our chest that says Superman, and we think we're going to be all right. Just like I did, just like probably Man of Tomorrow did. And then that reality comes where you have to deal with these things and you realize the mechanisms are not there to easily bounce back the way women have. And you tend to scratch harder, battle harder, causes you to realize it. One of the reasons Man of Tomorrow probably gives back and why I give back, because we understood after we hit that concrete bottom that, wow, every dude doesn't have the mental strength that I have. Every dude doesn't have the get back to it that I have. So for all those brothers who hit the same concrete with me, imagine how many didn't leave that space. Still back there pushing a Walmart basket around full of their belongings. And how there's some brother in a Lexus or a Benz driving by and he don't even donate to his local men's shelter at all. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to understand, if you see a lot of young black males under 30 out homeless with a tent over their head, something's wrong. Something's drastically wrong. I did want to point out, somebody in the chat room said minimum wage in Texas is $7.25 an hour.
Okay, that's absolutely no money. But so let's talk about the black men working together. And again, I want to just pause the show. This is a very good show. We have Mr. Research. He's a very busy person. And again, shout out to Harry Mingo. He's out in South Africa right now on his way back to New York. So we wish him a a very safe trip. Let's get the likes up, brothers. All right. And for those of you who are in the chat, like the video. And for those of you who haven't donated in a long time, you can hit, if you're interested in doing so, you can hit the super chat button in the chat, and we could definitely donate to what we're doing here. And that goes towards the negromanosphere.com. Let's talk about this though, Mr. Research. Black men are in a position financially, and you see it here just even on my small channel. You know, brothers have no problem, you know, donating Patreon. So again, here you go. $25. I was homeless at one point, and I am too a veteran. Listen up, family. This research is the truth. Keep bringing these brilliant men, no shame. Now, this is a brother who has lived in Ghana, drives trucks. You know, these brothers that support me are not hurting for money. Mr. Research, why is it that Black men, we have the money, we have people who have the skill set, why can't we move in on other places? Like when I was in Uganda, I saw the Chinese men there. You see Chinese men marrying Ugandan women, setting up businesses. You see the Lebanese moving into Liberia, setting up businesses. You see my brother Dynasty Samir, who spent thousands upon thousands of dollars going to 9 different African countries, pleading with brothers to come over and do stuff. Black men, we have the money. Some of us have the know-how. Why is it that we can't make the same moves the Chinese men are making?
And you can make the same moves, but here's the number one problem that everybody, including in the chat room, has to admit. The American Black man does not have a set of traditions that he is accustomed to dealing with from a boy to manhood. The way Latin people have machismo, the way African men have some indoctrination of manhood, the way Irish men and Scottish men have some indoctrination of manhood. We don't have a set of traditions. And you can see that when you go to dancing events. Go to an Irish dancing event. Go to a Romanian dancing event. Go to a Caribbean dancing event. Some form of decorum. But when you go to an African-American dancing event, social, we're barely talking to each other anymore. We're not bumping our booties on each other. It's not a sense of togetherness. Someone said earlier today, when you talk to, when you go to Cuba, you see a lot of different shades of skin tone, but they all look at themselves as Cuban before they look at themselves as African or white. We need to have that as brothers. We need to have something to where what you're doing, what other people are doing, where the man from a little boy can feel like he's worth something. And when you get your doctor's practice, hopefully there's a man who comes to you and says, O'Shea, I just want to change my life. I promise I'll be loyal to you. Just hire me. I don't have a lot of experience. And you have enough power to say, okay, go in here and work in the office. She's going to teach you everything. I want to make sure I do not get a bad report, and allow him to show you that loyalty. Women get that all the time. Women go to women all the time. I don't know nothing, Miss Ann, but I'm willing to work. Latins do that all the time, and so on and so on.
Okay, let me ask you this question, because, you know, I got to try to be a little vindictive, and I agree with 1,000% of what you're saying. But let me ask you this. If brothers don't have this culture, so we know that they have the money, we know that we have a lot of these brothers who have been educated. A lot of brothers have a lot of experience. We have a lot of truck drivers here. We have brothers who are very successful at business. But here's the thing. Shout out to Mentor. I'm building such a thing in Mississippi Delta for men. Okay. So here's the thing, Mr. Research. How can brothers get that sense of self? Because a lot of us have been raised by dad wasn't there. You know, this how can brothers find that same identity that the Chinese men have, that the Arab man has? How can we find that when we have never been around such a tradition?
Okay. The first thing that really needs to happen is, and I'm about to say something that doesn't cost any business owner money. You need to explore internship for other Black men. So, what you'll say to a Black man at your local college, at your local Craigslist, any of that. Hey, let me bring you in. I cannot promise you any salary or a salary, but I can promise you a great reference on your resume for your next position. Take over some of the small work that I have to do, learn what I do, and from there, you can build. Because here's the number one thing in the answer to your question. The only way to compete is to have references and connections. References and connections. Your degree don't matter. When you finish school, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that really matters is who's going to pull you into their hospital and protect you. Who's going to pull you into the hospital and make sure you get to come along at a nice, decent pace? Or who's going to pull you in and let you wing it for yourself where you kill your whole career? So the only way we can compete with those things, Black males have to create a set of conditions where we bring someone in and bring them along to where they can establish a connection. I have made a connection with a lot of people, man. And what I tell dudes all the time, holler at me, put me on your resume, use my company name, and I'll say that you have 5-6 years of experience in any level you want. Why would I not do that? How is that not how's that gonna hurt me? It's not. So when somebody has impressed me with their customer service or what have you, I give them a card. And it's mostly males I do this to. Put me on your resume. Say that you worked for me for 5 years. Just email me when you put your resume out and blah, blah, blah. This is how we combat that, because we got to create a set of traditions in order for us to do what you're suggesting. And let me also add this quick thing to about Homestead in Atlanta. Those are workshops. We were talking about places that you can live. And the cost of living in California is huge, but that's only because the Chinese are coming in with cash money for these houses. They are not going through banks like everybody else. So their money is coming straight from China, and they're buying a $600,000-$700,000 house with American cash already ready.
Let me mention this, and you make a great point. As far as the Chinese, not this is what the Chinese men I'm seeing are doing. You made a great point about they're buying cash for homes in the United States. The Chinese are in Kenya, they're in Uganda, and they're paying cash for businesses to infiltrate the market also. So they're not only just doing it, and they're kind of tactical in how they do this. You have Chinese who are going to everywhere in different places, even in Liberia, Mr. Research. And think about this. I was watching the Liberian Medical Council and Dental Council videos, and you have Liberia has 25 Chinese medical doctor students looking to enter into the industry in Liberia, where it's already developing. Now, the country has hardly no money. There's no guarantee those doctors will pay, but they are there on the front line. That's how serious Chinese are.
Right, absolutely. I mean, even for Cuba, because for the longest time, Cuba would take people and give them free medical education.
Yeah.
And, the thing is, the Chinese people are doing that so that they can say, even if they was a screw up doctor, you can go and do little work. You can go. Matter of fact, here's a little scheme that white people do a lot. They will go get employed by a place, PRN or per diem, which means that They only guarantee 5 hours, 10 hours, or 8 hours. They're not guaranteed a full ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
He owned the books for 6 months to a year. When they leave, they get to say they was employed full time for a year at that particular hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody checks that. The only thing that's checked with human resources is, were they employed? What was their start date? What was their end date? They don't go into the particulars. Nobody asks that. But it's a beautiful scheme that they use. And it's just like with the Chinese that you were mentioning about, or somebody was mentioning about California. In 1950, Chinese were not even permitted to buy land in California.
True.
Ronald Reagan changed that. And now they own majority of California, along with the Latins. So, somebody in the chat room says black people are done in California to a degree, but the purpose for this video and the purpose for speaking with you is, you got to realize Mississippi might be next. Arizona might be next. And you got to protect yourself.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Research. With all the things that are going on, and let's say let's give advice. You're a brother. You're living paycheck to paycheck. I'm gonna give you a few scenarios of some black men that might be following it. So let's say you're a brother. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You're working 40 to 50 hours a week. This is the scenario. What do you advise for a brother in this situation? How would you, if you were a brother like this, because you've been homeless before, right? So if I'm a
Yep.
brother, I have a decent paying job, but I'm living in an expensive city like maybe New York. I'm living in a city like Oakland, something like that. How could I better prepare myself to be ready for what's coming if I'm a brother with maybe I have a decent job, but I don't have a lot of education? If I lose this job tomorrow, I'm at Toys R Us. What would you say that I need to be doing in order to push myself to the next level?
Very, very easy answer. eBay textbook. Get a textbook from eBay in the field that you want to go into. Get an old version of a college textbook. You want to go into physics? You want to go into quantum computers? Get an old textbook and self-teach yourself. That's number one. Number two, reinvest in yourself. If you're a warehouse worker and you just got a $500 paycheck, you like, man, I can't keep doing this. Then you need to look at your field and be like, what can I reinvest in myself? Maybe I need a forklift certification. And you'll say, yeah, but I got a forklift certification through the company. Does your company certification work at another company? Well, no, it's just for this company. Then you need to get one that works for multiple companies. If you say, okay, we already got a forklift certification. Okay, well, how about you be the shipping clerk? Do you know all the shipping clerk duties? You want to constantly elevate your situation. Somebody said, oh, well, my manager, he wish he was working hourly like me. But your manager can transfer to another manager role at some other company. You'll still be stuck doing warehouse. So those are things where you got to reinvest in yourself. Once you finish your degree in Poland, you're going to get into your specialty. You may go to the hospital and figure out that pediatrics over being a foot doctor. Or you say, wow, wait a minute. In the area that I landed, Colorado, when I came back, I just landed in Colorado and got with a foot doctor, and now I'm making oodles of money. We don't know how it's going to go. I got a guy in Atlanta. He's an Egyptian dude. He used to be a bouncer at a club. This dude took that money, reinvested in himself, became a doctor, and now he has $1 million stream of med spas where he does Botox and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, you can do it. It just has to be the mindset of, I'm going to take some of this check and I'm going to reinvest in myself, and come with something different and something that's going to last.
Okay, let me do this real quick. We have 280 brothers watching right now. I got to give a shout out to my man LAR Movement. He's the third person on the brother pill. Shout out to LAR. Maybe we might do one tonight if he has time. Ron Brown, thank you, bro. $5 longtime supporter. We have 277 brothers watching right now. This is way more than I thought we was going to get tonight. But let's do this. It seems like this is a show that everybody been waiting on. Brothers, do us a favor, okay? Mr. Research is here. And he's really come over here and wanted to do this show, dropping jewels and game as always. Let's get the likes up. Let's do that, okay? Because this is Mr. Research. We glad to have him. Always good to have Mr. Research in the building. So we have 277 people right now. If you're on the restream, there's no reason why, if you are a black man, that you're not liking this video. It doesn't make any sense, okay? It's complete foolishness. If you're in this chat room and you're being helped by anything that this man is saying today, that it's trying to reach out and motivate you to change your life or improve your life, that you shouldn't like this video. Okay, now let's do this. There's a question Mr. Research that brother had. Now there are opportunities we know, like Amazon Flex, where you can drive and deliver packages. That's a new one. Uber. The brother wants to know, do side hustles help? Uber, second job, things of this nature.
I have a video that says, never get comfortable with your hustle. Never comfortable with your hustle. You have to get some form of career. Okay? If you're going to do the Uber thing, and this is something Master P created called Day Runner, okay, then start getting into the new aspects of what the shared ride industry does. Master P just created something called Day Runner, where if you want deliveries and all that type of stuff, in addition to driving around, he has created that app. That's an all-black male company run by 2 black males. That's something to get into. It's new. It ain't a bunch of people on it right now, and you don't have that that requirement on the car has to be a certain year. So if you a brother and you a convict and you trying to change your life, sign up for Day Runner while they have no requirements. Change your life. Mm-hmm. But the hustle thing is okay. It's just that, man, every time you get paid, you got to look at, man, I got to reinvest in myself.
Right.
I got to reinvest in myself. I got to take some of this money and reinvest in myself. Mm-hmm. Because, brothers, what's going to happen is there's going to come a time where there's no more black and white. It's going to be classism. Who has the money and who doesn't? This is going to happen here in America because we have too many immigrants, too many different cultures, too many sets of traditions. And what's going to happen is the brothers who did not protect themselves, they're going to get trampled on, and they're going to be looking at the brothers who did protect themselves and calling us coons because we can't reach back down and help you. That's what's going to happen. So you got to protect yourself.
Let me just add a point on that. And for those of you who want to subscribe to Mr. Research, go into the YouTube. I'm posting his YouTube channel. You can click the link, or in the description, I'll update it so you can go in the description and subscribe to him. But if you want to subscribe to him, that's his channel right there in the link. Click the link and hit the bell. Let me just prove what he's saying is right on the money. And I knew he was going to give the right answer. Last year on YouTube, I was making quite a bit of money, Mr. Research, on the AdSense. And multiple $1,000s a month at least the last 3 months. It was like $5,000 for AdSense or something like. It was crazy. Now, to me, it was just a hustle. Now, a lot of people figured that it was going to stay that way. But like you said, invest in yourself. I knew that something told me like, hey, man, this is not going to stay the same like this. So I said, you know what? And I wanted to do this anyway. Let me go ahead and start with this money. Let's start something that the brothers can probably benefit from, which is negromanosphere.com. and let me invest not only in myself, but let me invest in the network of other people with this money. Let me spread this money around and build connections with people that we can help build the content better, and it can be more of a stable thing. And sure as March came around, Mr. Research, that AdSense money was gone. And if you look, go ahead.
Out of here.
Gone. And if you look at a lot of the brothers who were big or popular last year on YouTube, many of them have stopped uploading videos, have stopped doing content. Most of your manosphere creators or black male creators on YouTube that were really active and popular this time last year, most of them are gone.
Gone.
You know? And the reason is I think a lot of those guys who are making that kind of money for a long time, someone was making $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. They've taken that money. They wasn't investing in themselves. You know, like I read a book, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. He advises getting a hustle or a second job only if you want to do two things. Number one, pay off a bill or credit cards, something like that. And then the second thing is if you want to take that money to invest on a down payment on a house or something like that, you know. So I totally agree. The hustle things, if you can get it opportunity, great. But again, the side hustles, like Mr. Research said, a guy like Mr. Research wasn't hurting during the AdSense crisis. I know a lot of YouTubers were scared, nervous. There's some YouTubers right now scared or nervous right now if they get a strike on their channel because they can't do live streams. That's how much they're dependent on YouTube money.
And you know what? Let me address something that I saw in the chat about the brother said he's a oil field truck worker and he's only thinking about himself. Mm-hmm. Advise you to develop two dudes up underneath you. If you're really going to make 100 a year, you take 25,000 and you reinvest in a side business that you own, because 25 ain't gonna hurt you if you're making 100 or 75,000 after taxes. And you create a side thing where you're doing local deliveries. Because here's the thing that brothers like yourself do not understand. You're being given a position. You do not control that position. Mm-hmm. That just because you show up for work and do a good job, that somebody will not find a way to let you go and give it to their cousin, Paulie. So if don't think about just yourself. That's not the correct attitude. Always be looking to build somebody up underneath you.
That's a powerful point. Let me say this, and this is I want to give a shout out to the brother Terrell D. Thank you, man, for the $5 super chat. Again, brothers, almost 300 people, man, listening to this show. Mr. You must be a superstar, dog. You got 282 people here on the live stream, and this is my smallest channel. Well, it's 11,000 people on here. So, brothers, like the video, okay? And like I said, you guys are supporting us by just liking the video, and we appreciate you. Mr. Research, let me say this. Let me ask you this. So, a lot of times as brothers, you've been hitting on the fact of bringing brothers, you know, to train the next brother to help or build a brother. Now we looked at the country of Zimbabwe. I know you're into politics a lot and sometimes global politics. What we know about people like, you know, like Robert Mugabe, Mobutu, these guys, and even some black church pastors, they never look to build the next person or the predecessor into the next person. They never look at the legacy. They're looking to stay in power or to stay in control as long as they can until they die out. And that's a problem that black men have. Meanwhile, the Chinese, as you say, the other races of men, Indians, they're looking to start something and then hand it off to keep the generations going, to make it better for the next generation. Why should black men adopt this strategy?
For the same reason Cameron the rapper does better than all of his counterparts. Smartest thing I saw Cameron do, he invested in people who shouldn't have even been on the mic. And he put them into a lengthy contract to matter, no matter what they do, they got to pay him. Mm-hmm. So this is why Cameron stopped rapping, because everybody got to pay him. And everybody who falls up under the Dipset moniker has to pay him. It's the smartest thing I ever seen any single rapper do. Okay, I'm gonna put people on. I'm gonna teach people how to rap. People like Jim Jones didn't even know how to rap. Mace taught him how to rap. He put everybody under contract, Jules, everybody. And everybody got to kick him, his company, a dividend. And if you use that Dipset moniker and you not under contract with him, you still have to kick in. That's the smartest thing I've ever seen. This is what we got to do as black men, because brothers, we're up against women who are doing this for girls they don't even like. You got females that don't even like each other, building their situation for the next young black girl coming in. While the black boy, now get this, nobody on the chat can deny this. While the black boy has to go beg the white man for a job, go impress the white woman for a job, to go impress the black woman for a job. Where's the other black manager that he can go interview with?
That's very true.
Male manager that he can go to. The one who looks like him, the one who understands he done went through something. So he has to convince this black woman that he's not like her boyfriend, because you know when she interviews him, she kind of looks at him like, oh, you remind me of my boyfriend. I don't think you interviewed well. And when he interviews with this white woman, the white woman's like, I like you. You got a swagger. You think you're going to, I don't know, but I'm a little intimidated by how dark you are. And then, oddly enough, many a time, the white dude who's trying not to be racist is his greatest ally.
Yeah.
So where's the black man pulling him in?
Right.
It's about to get drastic for you, brothers.
No, I totally agree. Let me say this. My man Manna tomorrow, he just donated. So Mr. Research, contact me through O'Shea. We need to talk. Now that brother did put in $120 in the super chat already, and so shout out. So yeah, I will definitely forward Manna tomorrow your email to Mr. Research. He's this is a powerful brother. Manna tomorrow is not a person that just talks. He lives what he's saying, man. So shout out to him. He's a brother that don't have to help black men do anything. Let me say this about Mr. Research and Manna tomorrow. They don't have to do what they're doing. These guys already have money and stuff like that. They don't have to do what they're doing, but they do this because they want to, see black men do better. And that's the thing about just creating a network that we are trying to create, and the YouTube channels, and we just use the mediums like the website. We're just trying to bring the best of black men together, and you guys can just connect and do certain things. Let me shout out this person, Mr. Research. Thank you, guys. We must do better. Lottery Guru, our super chat. Shout out to my boy Carlos here. Let's talk a little bit about this black female dynamic, Mr. Research, because not only are a lot of black men hating on other black men, but a lot of black men are helping black women.
Oh, let me speak.
Don't want to help them.
Look, let me speak on it. I will say, I hope that we crack the 200 like section at some point in time.
We got 191. Let's get 9 more brothers. Nine more brothers that like the video. But go ahead and we'll get it. We'll get it up.
Well, see, here's the issue, and let me speak to this directly. When I look at 100 black men of Baltimore, 100 black men of Tennessee, most of the time they are helping little girls. They are giving checks to all children, not just black boys. And when I go look at their counterpart, 100 black women of Baltimore, they are only helping girls. Let me say that again. When you look at your average 100 black man movement, they are helping all children. I believe brothers are very loving. But when you look at the lady, the counterpart, they are only helping girls. So let's do some algebra. It doesn't look good percentage-wise for the boy. And there are just too many males, and I'm not saying for us to hate males. I mean, hate females. But there's too many males out there helping only female situations. there's too many ladies out there helping only female situations. Go to your local college and look in the book for scholarships and grants. Why is it you have over half the book says parentheses women only? That's illegal. But you know what's happening? Women are reinvesting in the person coming behind them. The guy with a bunch of daughters, he's reinvesting in the women coming behind him. But that little boy, he don't have nothing in there to say black male only. He don't have nothing in there that says male only. So this is where the problem is, man. And I've been through it. Oh wow, we at 298. I've been through it. A lot of people have been through it. But you got to protect yourself, man, because these taxes that the GOP just passed is going to put a hurting on so many people. Helping you is not going to be a factor anymore.
Okay, let's keep on with that, because again, we have been trained, and a lot of brothers, and this is why I specifically have dedicated my channel only, and I've gotten that from you. You're probably one of the first people to really do that. The first kind of black man that had just a strictly channel for black men. I think you're probably the first person I see that did it exclusively. And you have people that were talking about black male issues or how to pick up chicks or stuff like that, and complaining about kind of like black women. But you were the first person I saw with a solution-based channel for black men. And I kind of followed eventually. My content was a little controversial, but I kind of followed more suit of you than anybody. And
you're better than me at it.
I wouldn't say that, but
no, I will. And that's another thing black men have to do. We have to applaud each other and not be so egotistical that we can't. You may have taken an idea that I had and made it much better. And the next dude that comes after you have to do that for him as well. And we have to be that example.
Let me shout out to High Dev, man. That's another powerful brother. He's a good dude, man. Shout out to Brandon L. He says this, Mr. Research, we are the only group of men that call women queens and gods. This is true. Shout out to Brandon L from St. Louis. Mr. Research, with the fact that black men do have the money, right? We know this. We got the money. We do have so, at least some of us have, good job training and the ability to make moves. If black can, do you think that black men can change their situation overnight by not focusing on black female fuckery? Let's talk about that.
Okay. So just like the brother says, we're the only ones that call black women queens and gods. He's right. But as I tell you guys, stop focusing on that because it's too time consuming. You have to understand all females go left. Okay. Now here's why that is. I don't say that because I say females are bad. I say that because females and beta males have a fear mechanism inside of them where they have to overthink things. That's why true males are logical and they try to be calculated. And just like the example you gave about seeing the curve of YouTube, O'Shea, before the curve got here, males are calculated and they're supposed to have vision, saith the Bible and saith Islam and saith the Torah and saith a bunch of other religions. You're supposed to have vision. A beta or female person reacts from a state of, oh, what if this happened? Oh, what if that happens? You can't do that. You have to put your mind in a space of, damn, this just happened to me. Okay, what do I need to do for the next 3 months or 6 months to dominate this situation and catapult myself back up to where I fell down at? Or you can spend 3 months whining about ain't nobody helping you, this is messed up. You get yourself out of that mind frame. Because once you get to the level of a man of tomorrow, for example, Now you got to protect all that. And how you going to protect it if you constantly worrying about what females are doing?
Mm-hmm. Let's talk more about that, because we do have, and to be fair, and Dan Terrell donates, things changed when I started to concentrate on self rather focusing outside of self. And I have connected Mr. Research Dynasty and Man of Tomorrow by email, so I just want to let you guys know. So when the podcast is over, you can go ahead and check it out. A lot of guys are on YouTube, and I was one of them until a certain degree. My content was a little bit more balanced, but I was always a guy I was pointing out some of the flaws, which I have stopped completely. I don't really complain about black women at all. Not that I feel any different, but I just don't, because I think it's pointless, because I'm
irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. I've adopted more of your approach. Black men that are spending so much energy trying to call out the fuckery of African American women or black women, what opportunities are they missing by not putting that energy?
Okay, let's look at SYSBM. Okay, SYSBM should not care about black women, and most of their videos should be focused on, hey, we just put together this travel situation. So all you brothers, man, next year we're going down to visit the brother in Brazil, the one O'Shea, and we do that because females are irrelevant. So but instead we're on 20 videos about how somebody's realizing that we don't care about them. I'm not saying that to put a shot at them. I'm saying that look how much time, unnecessary time, is focused on them. Put together a travel package. I talked about on Solo Show someplace I was thinking about going called Sex Island in Colombia. It's 2Gs, 5Gs for the trip. Focus on that, not women. There's a lady in the chat room, Miss Crow. I like Miss Crow. Miss Crow is cool. It's cool. But I say this: even if I was to establish a relationship for somebody like Miss Crow, I'm always going to keep myself in a position that if she betrays me and goes left, I'm going to be protected. Mm-hmm. That way, I don't have to worry about what type of moves she making. Mm-hmm. I don't have to worry about whether she sleeping with another person. I've said on my videos many a time, if I come into the house and my wife is sleeping with somebody else, I'm pulling out my camera phone. I'm taking videos. While she said, "Oh my God," I'd be like, "No, brother, no, keep doing what you're doing. No problem. Just want to get this on video." I'm going outside in the parking lot. I'm calling the police. I say, "Hey, my wife's screwing somebody. I think I'm going to do something." When they come over, I'm going to show them the video and I'm going to get a police report right then and there. Because guess what's happening? All this is evidence. I'm taking everything. Mm-hmm. I'm protected.
Let me also talk to you about this, because you always talk about the quality of women that you do get. Shout out to my man Dynasty Samir, aka Search for Who Powerful Show. You always talk about, and Dynasty even mentions this too, when we talk about black women issues, he comes on the show and says, "Hey man, the problems that you guys have, I don't deal with. I don't have to deal with I don't deal with ghetto chicks. I don't deal with black women like that." Alan Roger Kirk has the same thing. You never talk about, I'm dealing with fat chicks, I'm dealing with ghetto chicks, I'm dealing with.
No.
So why don't you deal with the kind of women that these other guys are focused on? The fat ones and the ones with the attitudes.
Because once you are convinced that you are a prize, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And once you are convinced that you're going to protect yourself because you are a prize, it doesn't matter. I go to Latin socials. I go to African weddings. I go to I went to a Russian beauty contest. I don't even like Russian women. I went there for the contacts. I went there to shake hands and watch how these women treated their men. Mm-hmm. I myself in situations not to coon, but to be exposed outside of the African American community. to be exposed how men are dominating in their culture to where women automatically give them respect out of habit. I put myself in these arenas, and I love dark-skinned females. I don't even like white girls. I dark-skinned females. But what I'm not going to do is make my like and love for dark-skinned females jeopardize me as a prize. A brother in the chat room said something about he was a project manager interviewing with a black chick and so on and so forth. Hey, it's the same premise to your question, O'Shea. When you're in and you know your stuff, it doesn't matter whether she hire you. They are losing you. You're not gaining them. And you have to start having that opinion about yourself as a career professional or as a black man who loves yourself. I mean, when you look at YouTube, look at how many black men do not actually love themselves. Look how many black men who entertain you, but they don't talk about how prideful they are about what they're doing in life. Seriously, take a look. You got so many black men on YouTube. They're telling you what you should be doing, telling you what they think about stuff. But do they talk about their life and how they're progressing? No, because they're progressing off of us. That's why so many people keep this gender war crap going on, so that they can generate money off of us. But how are they living?
This is very true. A lot of them. Oh man, from what I've heard about some people, I ain't calling them names, but there's some people, man, that one dude in particular, man, couldn't even get his internet turned on. Had to beg for, this is what I have to say, Mr. Research. If you're ever going to use a GoFundMe or donations, man, you never ask for donations to pay a past due bill. I mean, this is the donate, somebody donate me a camera or donate me a laptop. I mean, these are the
How
kind
is
of
that even a conversation?
Donate me equipment. I mean, this is where we at. Some of these black male content creators are asking people, can you donate me a camera?
Look. Let me interrupt you real quick.
Can you donate me a laptop? Go ahead.
Let me interrupt, because 319. For all you people who view other channels, let me ask you a question. Why do people need the most basics of things donated to them? Because they're not doing well in their life. I saw Egypt Ann put out a video asking her fan, and she don't even have a large fan base, asking her fans to help her and her child move from one apartment to the next.
Are you serious?
I promise you. You guys don't understand how much we are keeping up the fuckery for people who are not real. People who are not honest about how they living. You saw that one dude who I ain't gonna name got exposed for raping that little 13-year-old girl. You see how that idiot got? When people started realizing, wait a minute, dude, you did what? But mind you, people excuse it and they still like what he say. Okay, I'm not knocking that. But how is he living? See what I'm saying? So I don't care who nobody support. You can't use their information tomorrow morning and benefit if all you doing is high-fiving somebody. Yeah, man, I like what he said about them hoes. How's that help you, brother? Because I'm moving forward. I'm going to be all right. I got 5 certifications. I have taken 3 months off of work, gentlemen. I'm not working for 3 months. I just left. Decided I need to focus on my health and chilling out and getting my mind straight. How many of you guys can do that? And you know why I'm not scared? Because I got 5 certifications in demand. I got offered a position for $49 an hour just on a humbug. I said, no, I'm good. I'm not taking any new contracts, any new positions until December. You gotta have that type of power in your life.
Yeah, and when you you had a little disagreement with somebody. You counted out like what, $10,000 on that video, something like
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, dude, and look, somebody had just paid me that from something from a situation they owed me a year ago. I wasn't stressing getting that. I just happened to have that around the house on deck. I hadn't even taken it to the bank yet. So that was my point. It's like, and mind you, I'm a ghetto former drug dealer from Northern Cali who has not finished his college degree yet. So I'm not doing more better than anybody on YouTube. The only difference is I'm convinced I need to protect myself. I'm convinced. I love women. I'll probably fall in love with a chick, but guess what? I'm going to be lawyer tight.
Exactly.
Be ready if she ever goes left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try to hit her. I ain't going to try to fight old boy. I'm going to get evidence because not only do I want my stuff, I want to take some of her stuff too. Just for betraying me. I'm a thinker, O'Shea. I think.
Right. Right.
I don't respond emotionally. But go ahead.
Let's talk about. I mean, because you always tell brothers, and I have also say the same thing. I always tell brothers. First thing you need to do is get out and vote. Stop complaining about things. You say the same thing. Get out and vote.
Whoa,
Put your money
I'm sorry.
towards an
I'm
agenda.
sorry, sir. Let me stop the show.
Okay.
Welfare for life. You said from drugs that I'm a liar, dude. I grew up around Acorn in West Oakland. All we had is drugs. I used to sell crack and used to sell weed. 60 G's by 16 years old, dude. Don't stop. See, brothers like you, man. You always try to hurt the concept of brothers like myself who are trying to help other brothers. Right. But what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And that's so disrespectful, man. I mean, I just want to say that. Don't ever somebody a liar. It's better for you to ask a person, hey, what do you mean by this or blah, blah, blah. You are the reason why a lot of people do not get further in life because you like to try to shame people with false BS. I'm sorry, sir.
Search for Who asks, what year did you graduate? Or what year did you finish at McClemens?
McClemens?
Yeah.
I got kicked out, as I said earlier in the show. I got kicked out, and I graduated out of there at 88. Oakland Tech at 88, because I got kicked out of Mac.
Okay, so let me kind of go to this because we always talk about, brothers like, a lot of brothers complain about the laws. We haven't learned how to play the game yet because, again, to us, we like to complain about the law, complain about the white man got his foot on our neck and all of this stuff. You always advocate for black men. Hey, get out and vote. Not only get out and vote, buy up the political system. You brothers have money. Put money towards your political campaigns so that people not only respect your vote, but they respect your dollar with your vote. Change the laws into your favor. Why don't brothers how powerful can brothers be if they take just a little bit of that $600 billion spending power? Let's just say every black man put in $50 a year towards a political campaign. How powerful would black men be as far as influential in the local government and also in the state in the federal government?
I did a party for Caesar Mitchell in Atlanta at a hotel on Peachtree. I don't have Caesar on speed dial, but I got that connection now because of that party. Vernon Jones in DeKalb County, he was doing worse than the white people. I spent $3,000 on an internet campaign to make sure he never got reelected. And when he tried to get elected to the Senate, I contacted that same IT brother and we put up an internet campaign killing his name to make sure he never got elected again. That's how that gets done. We got to look at things locally, focusing on what's happening nationwide is not as important in what's happening in your county. Mm-hmm. Every city council relies on you black men not knowing what's going on. Let me say it again. Every city council member where you live relies on you black men not knowing what's going on. They can create, do your parking tickets, increase your parking tickets. At one point in time, Atlanta tried to make a 24-hour parking enforcement. 24 hours. The citizens shut that down. And that's what we got to get on. We got to get on stuff locally because it impacts us, man. It's the reason why a lot of people are not doing well.
This is important. Let me talk about that real quick because I'm going to give a shout out to Mike Shobes. Thank you. Taboo Smash, 2 donations of $2. And Pollard, I'm going to send that to you. Let's talk about the local level, man, because a lot of brothers, we always think when we talk about politics, we should be focusing on, as you have pointed out, the Donald Trump elections, the every 4 years. Let's talk about the local elections a little bit more because a lot of black men, not only do we lose on the national elections, we definitely lose in the local elections. What should the black male voting agendas be about? You know, because black men, we can't work together for the most part. We don't agree on everything. What do you think that if me and you, we know, we're going to leave religion out of it. We're going to leave politics out of it. We're going to leave Democrat or Republican out of it. What are some of the things that you think every black man should be trying to vote for, to push for in their local government that's going to benefit the black male collective?
First of all, thank you for the 250 likes and thank you for the 323 watching. That's impressive. I do appreciate it. I feel this. Be an independent because what that does is that puts us in the history category. Now, I'm a conservative. But I'm a John Adams conservative. I am not a Ronald Reaganite. I do not like Ronald Reagan. I believe you should be an independent. Do not let the Democrats count you as an instant win. Do not let the conservatives count you as an instant win. Mm-hmm. Be middle ground where they have to cater to you.
That's smart. Yeah.
Promise you something. Right now, black women are trying to chisel in on the Democratic Party. They have something called women of color in the Democrat Party. There is no black male of color in the Democratic Party. We are not making our own group. This is another reason why we got to stop focusing on what females are doing. We have to focus on strengthening our own situations. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm up in there on the conservative side and I go to these Republican dinners and I tell these white folks, man, y'all tripping. No, black people do not commit crimes. Show me, Al, where does it say in the FBI statistics committee? If I'm having those conversations, then you have to have those equal conversations on your Democratic side or your independent side. You have to make these people recognize us not as people who are just going to fall in line. There's many white people when I go to a Republican dinner, are you a rhino? I said, no, I'm a Jefferson Adams conservative. I read teachings of Edmund Burke. Edmund Burke created conservatism. You don't even know who Edmund Burke is.
I've never heard of him. No.
I said, so how are you calling yourself a conservative? He created conservatism. You have to know stuff way more than these folks so these folks can be in awe. Now, when I go to Republican dinners, oh, hey, Q, how you doing? Let me introduce you to so-and-so, because they're fascinated that they've run into a black person that's just not going to bow down, that's going to keep his blackness, but at the same time say it needs to be nation first, which is what it used to be about.
You know, you've put something in my mindset about the independent party, and I've had my criticisms of white conservatives. I feel that they are disingenuous, not as disingenuous as white liberals, but man, you've even just put my mind on changing to the independent party just by saying that. I think that's a great idea for black men to be in the middle and see who offers you the best deal. I think that's great. But so we hear about the independent strategy here. Let me ask you this: what should if black men are there, what do you think they should be voting for? What are some things that black men should say, this is what we want we want to push this particular agenda to help benefit us because the gays have an agenda. Hispanics have an agenda. What would be a black male starting point for an agenda that you think that would, help black men as a collective get ahead?
Okay. First, let me shock everybody in the chat room and everybody listening. The gay mafia just made Governor Jerry Brown take a felony and make it a misdemeanor. That's how focused they are on their agenda. It used to be a felony to give somebody HIV. So if you know you got HIV/AIDS and you knowingly give it to O'Shea, that person receives a felony and 6 to 10 years in jail. The gay mafia forced Jerry Brown. Maybe they have a secret on him. Maybe he got some gay stuff going on in his background, whatever. But they forced this guy to lower that to a misdemeanor and $1,000 fine. That is the power of sticking together. So let me say it again. They forced this governor to take a felony and lower it to a misdemeanor. So now if you're in California and somebody knows they have HIV/AIDS incurable, and they give it to you and tell you don't worry, and you find out a month later that you are screwed up for life, that you'll be taking drugs, popping needles, popping pills for the rest of your life, you cannot sue that person, and that person will not go to jail. They'll just get $1,000 fine. So chew that over while I answer your question. What black males need to first focus on is what Obama tried to do before Paul Ryan killed it. Obama tried to create a bill before he left his presidency for those men with back child support issues who happen to be in prison. And he tried to create something that took it off of their bill so that when they got out, they'd have a free shot and not have this debt going on. But Paul Ryan put a stop to it. So that was one thing Obama tried to do for males, but Paul Ryan stopped it. So black males' number one concern is the child support family court industry.
Okay.
You need to make sure the family court is televised. Family court does not like to be televised. Do you realize that's the only court we do not have cameras in?
I didn't know that.
To be televised. They do not like to put their stuff out there because they know it will be a social media firestorm the way they treat males. So that's the first thing. Second thing is guys need to work on this unemployment thing. You need to find ways to get yourself politically into some of these arenas where big jobs are happening. The wind market. Wind is going to be a big thing soon. You guys need to push that political agenda to get in there. There's a whole bunch of it, but those are the first two. That child support, which is a killer. You need to get that changed. Oh, and the third thing, because of everything that's going on with these accusations, you need to push that a woman, a gay dude, whoever is accusing you, needs to be able to prove what they are saying, or they need to face charges. Because you cannot allow another human being or a group of human beings accusation against O'Shea and kill his whole life and have him spend 5 years showing that it never happened and nobody goes to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And Banks.
No, I definitely agree. And so with the child support, that does keep and a lot of brothers are being hit with false paternity. Where the laws are right now, if you find out the baby's not yours, they will still make you pay child support for that baby.
Yeah, and to Mr. Daryl Moore in the chat room, no, they do not go to jail. That may be only in your county, but nationwide they do not go to jail. And you can look up Tennessee's laws for what O'Shea just said. They have the highest rate of false father claims, to where they had to create a law just in Tennessee for that. It's called the false father. So false father, and then the judicial term is called father of record. Why you got somebody like myself giving you this information so you can go look up these titles so that you know those are true. Because I believe in titles, names of the person, dates, and times. That's how you know if somebody is telling you something real. Titles, names, dates, and times. So it's called father of record, what O'Shea is talking about, or it's also called the other thing I just said.
Okay. Let me just do this real quick, man, because, man, I didn't even know. Me and Mr. Rich talk about doing this show. We have 341 people watching. Like I said, this is a very small channel, man, in comparison to,
Can we get 300 likes?
We can't get 300 likes. I've seen people that have 300,000 or 400,000 subscribers. We don't use any special material over here. We don't have no special graphics. And there's so many brothers wanting to hear the conversation. That's why I always say content is the king. You know what I mean? Content is king. And when you have people like Mr. Research, man, that produces that great content like this, we can go ahead and do a great show. This is what I want to do. Let me just pause the show because I want everybody to that wants to subscribe to Mr. Research. I want you to do one thing. I just updated his. If you go to the description, you will see his link to subscribe to this channel. But this is what I want to do. So many brothers, if you go to the link, it's there. Okay. I want all 340 brothers. If you're not subscribed, if you can't get to the link, I'm posting it in the chat. I want everybody to subscribe and hit the bell on Mr. Research. Okay. I'm spamming the chat. Do that. Tell me that you subscribed. Okay. So we're going to take time to do that. We have 279 likes. Let's get 21 more people over there to like the video. And then let's all brothers go into here and let's show the brother some love, okay? Because he's dropping some awesome game. Me and him haven't done a show in a long time, but let's get the subscriptions up, okay? This is one of our best black male content creators. So let us support the brothers who are out here supporting you, okay? Because again, the brother had a channel that was really, really growing and it was shut down. So I want you brothers, man, to go subscribe right now. We need to have this man 100 something subscribers today, right now. Okay, thank you, Julian. Thank you, JD Mosley. And go in the description and subscribe. Okay. The reason why is we need more brothers out here like Mr. Research. I know you guys like the roasting and the fuckery, and me and Steve be doing the shows, and I be cussing niggas out and beefing and shit like that. But here's the thing, all of that is good, but it's about the knowledge, right? We need these type of brothers, the Mr. Researchers, the Man of Tomorrows, the Dynasty Amirs, and now even myself, sometimes I could be a little petty, but we need brothers all across the world that is connected. I thank all you brothers for subscribing. And tell your friends about Mr. Research. Don't keep all this, like he says, don't keep all this game to yourself. Okay, hit the bell when you subscribe. Don't just go over there, hit the bell. Okay, and tell your other brothers out there about Mr. Research. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Research. Is there anything else you wanted to address?
You know what? I will say, if you are a first time sub, go look at that Classy Black Man Bible Genesis 1. Classy Black Man Bible Genesis 1 just really breaks down the whole protect yourself theory. You may love people in your life, but you have to look at it from the standpoint of you don't want to lose your Garden of Eden. You don't want to lose your Garden of Eden. You want to keep yourself in a peaceful mind frame, and have all that good stuff coming. And for a lot of you guys who have Facebook, man, it's nothing. I understand people get for free, but whether it's O'Shea stuff or whoever, drop the link on your Facebook so that other people can soak up information. Because if you're getting something for free, the least thing you can do is copy the link, drop it on your Facebook one time, and let other people who get exposed.
Right.
Because you never know. There's some dudes, they smiling, they dating a lot of chicks, but there's some dudes hate going home. And there's some dudes hate going to their jobs. You gotta expose them to different levels. The other thing I want to say, is that going back to that Master P Day Runner situation. Mm-hmm. This guy, Master P, looked at Uber and he said, "How can I throw some black on it?" This guy, Master P, created in Louisiana, and large movement should know this. This guy went when everybody was going digital. Well, let me buy up the analog lines and just give mobile out to the hood. I got the hookup was a real thing he did. He really lines, and while everybody was digital. So sometimes, whether you that brother who said he $1,000 a year, stop clapping your hands about that. Start looking at, okay, how can I take some of this money and reinvest it and help the next person coming in?
Right. It's funny. My man Jake Cherwinski, I think, because this channel, Mr. Research, if you don't know, I got a lot of Polish fans that have watched my Black in Poland vlog, because this channel has probably a little bit of different fan base. So I've been doing my Black in Poland vlog, my as I've been doing and stuff. I'm doing a little bit different things on this channel than my main channel. And he says, "Man, I'm surprised. This is some great content. You may be surprised that white men need to hear this too." So we have Polish men, I believe, that are in here listening to black males' conversation, and they are being helped. That's powerful.
That's a good thing because, but that's a good thing because at the end of the day, ultimately, the whole racism, the whole skin tone thing is going to fade, and it's going to be about who got dollars and who don't. Right. And the Polish man or what the white man need to understand is, my grandfather may have told me how he felt, my dad may have told me how he felt, but I need to start connecting with some of these Black, African, Asian folks to make sure I'm diversified, to make sure I'm on point. And then the Black guy, how he benefits, he gets to be exposed to that Polish experience. And he's like, okay, I'm connected through this. Because here's the thing that even you got to admit about yourself, O'Shea. Mm-hmm. You don't do well in America, you can always go back to Poland.
Yeah, this is true.
But what can the guy do who never left Mississippi? What can the guy do who never left Indiana?
Yeah.
If he got fired from 400 jobs in Milwaukee, everybody knows his name. He can't get no work. And I've literally heard, I remember, man, there was a guy, he had just got out of jail, man. He had did 10 years in jail with nobody hiring him. And I said, well, why don't you leave America? And he looked at me puzzled. He's like, huh? I said, yeah, all you did was sell drugs. Interpol don't care about drugs. As long as you ain't smuggling them, they don't care about drug selling. Man, jump on the plane, get up out of here. He was like, but I don't know nothing about that. I said, you didn't know nothing about Oakland when you were born. What's the difference?
Right.
And he got up out of there and he was doing well. He went to England and he was brand new. Got him a job, was doing sewer, got more work. He was making like 100 plus, man. He was doing real well.
$100,000 a year?
Huh?
$100,000 a year?
Yeah, that's what it equaled out to, because he was working for the government. He was working on the sewage system. But his problem is he never saw daylight, and he never saw the fruits of his labor.
Right.
So it was a legal job. He changed his situation. He had a lot of money, big house, big cars, but he was working like 12, 13 hours a day.
Yeah, that's
killing that dude. I had talked to him for a long time. He was complaining. And matter of fact, there's some dudes in Atlanta like that I met down at the Atlanta sewage thing that were ex-convicts, but they never get to enjoy their money. They always working.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
So that's the trade-off, And I do want to say this, man. When you run into people who don't believe what I'm saying or who wants to put other brothers down, asking them, well, what do you suggest? Because we got to stop glorifying black men who want to shut other black men down. I teased Tito earlier and I teased Obsidian earlier. They have some good points here and there. The only thing I say is live what you're saying. Don't be fronting, because in that way you're not really living. If you never left Chicago, whose fault is that? So you can't tell me what it's like to get a plane ticket. You can't tell me what it's like to get a passport.
Right.
You need to be hearing from people. I remember O'Shea when they used to tell me to my face, man, O'Shea ain't in no Poland. And I'm like, dude, why would you even say that? Why does it even matter whether he's in Poland or not in Poland? Man, he a fraud.
Yeah, he said
Why do you feel so happy saying that, bro? I don't understand it. Then when they find out that you're really there, I don't hear from them dudes. They don't even want to show their face.
Nope.
Here's also my last point. Talking about fearless, because I was going to make a video about this, but I'm just going to say it here. You get some guys who get on here and they talk about women and what have you, right? Years, this dude, he was married to a Filipino woman, and he would talk so dirty about black women, right?
You talking about Fearless, the YouTuber?
Huh?
You mean Fearless, the YouTuber?
Yeah, it was a YouTuber. Brother used to wear glasses. I think it was Painless Risen or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Painless Risen, yeah.
His Filipino chick divorced him and took all his shit. Now you don't see him on YouTube no more.
No, not really.
So
he's pretty popular too.
Energy about black chicks when all females go left. All that energy, video after video about black this, black that. And you even look at Brother Man back in the day. He's not on no more. See, at some point in time, and this is going to happen to you too, O'Shea. Some point in time, life catches up with us. Negro Manosphere may still keep running and may still keep producing, but your time on getting on YouTube might start to get limited. You might have to start saying to Law Movement, hey, pay me $35 for the month, and I'll let you use my platform. You know, you start selling your subscriber base. Yeah, you know, I really can't get on like I used to, but I want to keep shows running. You know, won't you get on my platform the way Boyce Watkins does? And you know, when I ain't doing nothing, I'll let you get a piece of it. I told that to lovely T.I. I told her, I said, sweetheart, you got all this, you talking about you losing money, start selling off your subscriber base to people who want to put their message out. I'm quite sure you got some chicks that want to sell something. $100, get on there for 30 minutes and talk about their product. It's a 500,000 people that you're reaching. I told the same thing to Phil. And see, this is how we kill ourselves, O'Shea. Because why would Phil not sell it? And that's when you start seeing Phil give it to the Muslim brother for a little while. You got to start looking at it from that standpoint. And everybody in the chat room got to start looking at it from that standpoint too.
Let me do this. And I'm going to just, you can answer this question for, if you like, Mr. Research. And there's Mandy Goes, he donates $20. Says, what do you think about medical marijuana stocks in 2018, especially in Canada, and the stocks going to 2018 with the tax cuts? So
always remember, Maddie, that when it comes to some new situation, the legislation has not finished yet. So you get in while it's hot, but always keep looking at the politics, because they can easily throw a monkey wrench in there and hurt you. Let me give you an example about 401. At one point in time, when 401 first came around and 402, you can get dollar for dollar, you get all your money back. Then the government realized, we need to tax people for taking their money out too early. Then a lot of people got stuck. A lot of people who thought they had 40 G's now had 18 G's. So you always got to do what O'Shea did when he said earlier, you got to look at the curve. You a logical man. You got to always calculate. You can never do nothing from emotion. If you like Bitcoin, great. But I've heard a lot of people talk about, well, I had X amount of dollars over at this one guy and he shut down his server. Where's all your money? You got to know the pitfalls of anything you're dealing with. And if you got testicles, if you got nuts, then that means you need to be a visionary. You need to be looking ahead of the game.
It's a good advice. We finally got our first dislike. So shout out to the 301 likes, man. We have got to 300 without one hater. But again, I want to thank everybody for liking the video. Can we get some more brothers to like the video, man? We have 301 people, 340. Typically we don't get that many likes, man, with these people watching, but we want to thank everybody. Oh, when I said that, somebody hit the dislike. So let's get the more brothers.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
I like the dislike people, man. The dislike people, I love them because evidently I triggered something in their soul that made them say, why the fuck am I sitting on my mama's couch?
Hold on a second. Here's this nigga, this dumbass nigga, subscribe. You can't even spell subscribe right, bitch. S-U-B, subscribe. Who gonna subscribe? Subscribe to your channel. See, this is the black man you talking about. Niggas can't even fucking spell. This nigga name is, I ain't gonna say your name, nigga, but how do you say subscribe, nigga? You're trying to get people to go to your channel and you can't fucking spell. What is subscribe? I'm sorry, though. Some of these niggas need to go back to slavery. I know, Mr. Reach, I know that. This nigga need to go back to slavery. I ain't talking about whooping his ass, right? I'm talking about the new slavery. No Jordans, no iPhone, no ribs, nothing, nigga. On the new slavery, all you can do is read and drink water and work out and do calculus problems. That'll make you niggas go crazy. That's the new shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, no Jordans, no Instagram, no iPads, none of that shit. Just straight calculus books and waters. And no fried chicken, only baked chicken, and you gotta read all type of African Black history and shit, and you gotta do a lot of chemistry problems and shit. Otherwise, we beat your motherfucking ass. This that new shit, that new slavery. You niggas will kill yourself. Have to do calculus. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Research.
And you know what? To the chat room, I just thought of something. Let's say me and O'Shea or somebody like us started to do some episodes on YouTube. Let's say we wanted to holler at YouTube Red and say, let's do some black male episodes. Because I was thinking about this, but I'll probably talk to Manna tomorrow and see if we can put it together. But what if we did some episodes? Are you guys going to just watch it for free? Or are you going to drop the $2.99 or $4.99 to keep it going? That's the other thing I wanted to answer to O'Shea's question. Mm-hmm. You understand, right now, the number one donor for O'Shea is a female, not a male. The number, according to O'Shea. Remember that lady you was talking about, O'Shea?
Well, yeah, it was that day in the podcast, but typically the biggest donors
that day
are like,
in the podcast.
I will say this, like Ted Randolph, Carlos, Maddie Ghost, Manna Tomorrow, I believe Harry Mingo's the biggest one, but we do have cases where there are women like that donate out. I have niggas in here all the time that never donate. They hear all the time. Theron, oh yeah, TW. How can I say that? Damn, that nigga, he be dropping a lot. There's so many niggas that be dropping a lot of money over here, man.
But you know what? That's good. My only point is that don't let those. Now I'm not talking to the brothers who do donate. I'm talking about to the ones that don't. Don't let them be the only people that donate, man. Because if you start putting out a show. Mm-hmm. If Manna Tomorrow and everybody got together and said, okay, we're going to do some shares and we're going to do episodes, we're going to make a version of Insecure on YouTube, then don't be like, man, it costs $2.99. Why are we having $2.99 conversations? Why is that a problem? Go work some overtime at your job. Mm-hmm. So you can stop having $5 conversations. I can't remember the last time I had a $5 conversation. Because it's like, why are we talking about that? Mm-hmm. Man, they over there trying to charge. Either you see the value in it or you don't. Why are you talking about it? Oh, Mr. Research, you're trying to talk down to us. I'm not trying to talk down to you. I'm trying to tell you, realize that you have a nut sack. And this should not be a conversation. Man, I don't like you, Mr. Research. I'm gonna dislike you, man. You be talking down. No. I'm telling you, get your money up to where you can stop caring. Let me say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Money up so that it doesn't matter. Then you'll stop having these $5 conversations. Then when a female come to you and she try to tell you something sideways, you'll be like, sorry, sweetheart, I'm going my own way. I'm finna turn my back on you. I'm gone. I'm good. Well, what about the titties? I can get those titties anywhere. I'm a rich nigga. Good. But what about this pussy? I've had that before. Yeah. You know, I'm quite sure your sister or your daughter will be hollering at me within a year. Don't even worry about it. You gotta get to that point, man. To you fat brothers, to you ugly brothers, to you light skin, dark skin, white brothers, y'all gotta stop caring so much.
It's true.
About, and this is the last thing I want to say, land ownership. You got to focus on some land ownership. Start having some Home Depot problems. Start having some Home Depot and Lowe's problems. You got to do that, and then you will turn on a video talking about females, and you be like, I can't even worry about this shit. I got to get my orange tree pruned. This shit, I got a fucking spider infection. I got a spider infection on the orange tree, O'Shea. I'm worried about.
That's a good problem to have, man. That's a good problem to have. And let me shout out to Harold Jackson. He says Black people need to work with and learn for other people with no prejudice. Look for people that can elevate your situation. Great job, guys. I believe what he's saying. Like, sometimes a Black person won't be able to help you. You might, like you just said earlier, sometimes it is a white person that helps. It helps you get to the next situation. I know personally that's been the case for me in many times in my life. So again, man, we thank you for for saying that. Mr. Research, for those of you who have not subscribed to him, go to the description, or if you want me to post a link, this is what you can do. Because there's so many brothers, man, that have stayed and wanted to hear this information with Mr. Research. And I'm going to get back more to doing my interviews. I've been really so busy with my rotations and certain things I haven't been able to produce the regular content, but I am going to get back to having the Mr. Researchers on and the LAR movements and some of the other people, because I've been just doing Rich Donovan and Steve, but I'm gonna get back to doing more of the other shows that I were doing a little bit more, because I feel all of us can help. Oh, Howard Cooper, Knowledge is Power, $20. See, this is what we're talking about, man. Brothers always supporting Vernon Norfleet. And this is the thing we're talking about, man. You guys support, and I'm gonna drop. He don't need it, but I'm gonna drop Mr. Research some money. He don't need it, but he got.
Oh no, man, I'm good.
Oh shit, I'm
keep that shit.
Be telling me no too many times, But I just want to say this, brothers. Mr. Research is a man of his word. I remember when I was doing a drive last year, I wanted brothers to go and just donate to the Negro College Fund. That's all I wanted you to do. Yeah, it wasn't for. Remember that, Mr. Research?
Yeah.
I was one of the only brother till this day said, man, go, donate to the Negro College Fund and show me that you did it. He donated $222.22, man. This is how much this man cares about Black people, cares about Black brothers. Okay. We want to see brothers do well. And that was a good drive, man, for the United Negro College Fund. We raised about $1,000. Shout out to Eastwood. And a lot of brothers gave, man, they got tax credit for that. And,
Eastwood?
Big Eastwood up to no good. We're gonna take over African country, man. We keep talking about that. So again, I just want to say, if these brothers are able to do and whatever help they need from me, if they need help with some kind of insecure series, Black men, what up, Eric? Thank you so much. We need the same kind of shit that Black women have. We need our own entertainment, right? We have our own podcast. Go ahead.
Where is our Madame Noir for men?
Yeah, I'm trying to get together, but
see, the whole thing is to everybody listening, 333 people, be ready to move when somebody legit makes a move. Be ready to move because it ain't gonna be free moving forward. That's what's about to drastically change. This stuff ain't gonna be free moving forward. Your mistakes are gonna cost. I'm talking about outside of YouTube. I'm a Republican. I'm telling you, they are about to fuck you. Okay? And you guys don't see it coming. You're gonna complain about it, but you don't see it coming. You're gonna have to work that overtime, reinvest in yourself. I know it means that you can't go to the strip club and give that woman half your check. I understand that. But you're gonna have to go after that heating and air certification. My homeboy, he just finished his Harley Davidson repair certification. He's going after the white man money. Let me say it again. He just finished his Harley Davidson repair certification. He's repairing Harley Davidson, and you know that costs.
Oh yeah.
So fellas, this ain't the year to fuck up no more. You're gonna see more and more. Just to recap what we had talked about earlier, black male homelessness is on the rise. There's dudes 26 and 36 talking about they happy with a tent. All they need is a tent. All they need is a cardboard box. And we having more immigrants come in. I'm not hating on them, but they're taking the jobs and positions at the warehouse and everything. You go to a fast food restaurant, you don't even see the young black male working there no more. You might see one or two. So what's happening to them all? How are they going to get this experience? You know what's going to happen? O'Shea's going to get his situation. I'm going to have my situation. Man of Tomorrow's going to have his situation. All the other brothers are going to have their situation. And everybody who ain't doing well is going to reach up to us and say, help me out now that I realize. And we're going to say, brother, I can't do it. And you're going to call us a coon. You're going to call us sellout. You're going to say we ain't down for the brothers.
Right.
And we've been warning you this whole time.
Let's do this, brothers. And for those of you who want to subscribe to Mr. Research, I'm posting his link in the chat. Let's click the link, hit the subscribe button, right? Let's click the link, hit the subscribe button. This man, hold on a second. Professor Babacar, put me on Hangouts. I'll put you to Hangout. I'll give you a Google Hangouts link for you to put it your own Hangouts. Nigga, ain't nobody gonna have your monkey ass on these damn Hangouts, nigga, with 2 subscribers. Shut your motherfucking ass up. My bad, dog. These niggas always bring it out of me. So again, man, where can they find you at, man? And I'm pretty sure people want to know, when can you come back?
We can do it next weekend because I've been starting to realize, man, that I really just need to go ahead and get back at it because now I'm getting bored having all this time off. So I'm really going to start getting back at it. But yeah, next weekend, Saturday or Sunday, I'll take some time out. I was going to go to the roller coasters today, but tomorrow, so it is what it is. Just holler at me.
Okay.
And we can definitely you got a way to reach out to me, so it's all good.
All right, again, that's my man Terry Randolph, my man from Canada by way of Ghana. Your American lawmakers are almost as bad as those African ministers collecting bribes. That one law about HIV is insane. Yeah, just make money and move broke. Yeah, I agree, man. Shout out to my man Terry Randolph, man. True from Troy. All you brothers, man. Maddie goes talking about them edibles. Again, this is a great, like I said, Mr. Research, man. And shout out to him. He's really been influential on my change in content. And so when I first heard his video, before I even knew, actually I had a blog talk radio show. He called into it before I was even a YouTuber. That's how I remember him. I had a radio show called Planet O'Shea, and one day he just saw the number and called in. I said, dude, you're that same guy that called in about 4 years ago to the radio show. He's like, yeah, that might have been me. That was him. And it's just funny how I was able to, and shout out to Jamaican Pepper. I was able to find him on YouTube, man, and he chopped up a lot of game with me offline. And he's like, I would say my mentor, man. Him and Ringo TV Roddy really have helped me, but him more so. And I've been focusing more on just trying to help brothers with my platform, not using my platform to make men feel mad or angry or pissed off or nothing like that. Nah, we want to help. We want the brothers to be able to elevate, and and the network is being really big. Eastwood, HT Logistics, the Ron Williams, the Trucker Family. We have the Truck Stop podcast now, and people like Man of Tomorrow, All Mall,
Well,
Dynasty. What'd you say?
well, check this out. Here's the thing that I suggest you do, and I'm gonna say it publicly.
Go ahead.
Publicly, I suggest you start looking for all-star people to get a piece of your platform when you're not doing nothing with it. I suggest you start making Negro Manosphere similar to what Boyce does with his. I think your stuff should be running virtually 24/7.
Damn.
So when people are not, when you got other stuff to do, extremely trustworthy individuals, and I'm not talking myself, it could be Law, it could be other little people, they to get a piece of your platform and run something. So you can have a true TV show style, because I want you to be prepared for when YouTube Red reaches out to you and makes you an offer. Because they made Phil an offer at one point in time, but Phil didn't want to get down the way they wanted Phil to get down. And when I went out to YouTube Black, which was an invitation only thing, they was trying to set everybody up for that thought process. Hey, we want to be a TV show. We want to be Hulu. So I would suggest, and it would also help your money too, your watch time, because you already know it's all about watch time.
Oh yeah.
And if you start giving away pieces, little 15-minute increments to up and coming cat, go out there and find the stars of YouTube who just want 15 minutes, and you able to turn it on from your phone or what have you, and give them 15 minutes of access and let them do what they do. And you might find your stuff quadruple, because
I was thinking the same thing, man. I know. Shout out to the Star Network. Star in the morning, he does the same thing with the Snitch Network. And what you're saying is oh so true, man. Because now I have an editor, and and shout out to so many people donate, man. Edward DeRico and Eric P. I'm gonna do just that, man. I'm gonna do just that because we have the website up. I think what you're saying is right. I definitely need to do that, and I am gonna do that. So those people who be interested in something like that, if you're a content creator, get with me. I think it's a good idea. I think it'll definitely grow.
Well, I will say this: if LAR puts together a good package, I will financially support LAR's situation. If LAR puts together a great show to present to you, not just what he does on his channel, but just a great show idea, and I'll go half and half with LAR on his situation.
Eliar Rubin is talking about doing this?
No, I'm just throwing out
just an example.
The good omens, man. I'm throwing out the good vibes.
Okay.
Because if I do that, then Lars is a decently trustworthy dude that you and I both are exposed to, and I just think it'll help all three situations. So if that's something that he's willing to do, because I was one of the first people to buy his book when he first dropped it,
right?
And I'm really somebody that wants to help, even if he wants to have a first-time father segment on your platform, whatever. I'm just saying I'm willing to kick into it financially to take 15 minutes or whatever to get the idea of you having a multi-platform on your platform.
Okay, man, I'm definitely definitely down for that. So yeah, man, reach out to me. That's a good idea. I've been trying to figure out how Boyce does and stuff like that. I have another channel that I want to I have an O'Shea Duke Jackson 3 that it has like maybe 400 subscribers. We can definitely build that one up. I've been trying to build this one up. This channel you guys are looking at right now, this channel did not exist this time last year. But shout out to my editor in Russia, Dima. He's really, man, helped the vlogs and stuff like that, and editing nonstop to get the content a little bit different and reaching another audience. That's why I believe that this channel, even though it's a smaller channel, has is probably as much pull as the other one, and this one is growing. I actually create content. Like actually in the vlog, I create the scenes and stuff like that. So
right,
it's just something I know how to do.
Well, on the third one, if you do run it through the third one, just make that one the one where there's no cursing, and that way, it's better to present to YouTube Red. Because all YouTube Red wants to do is be able to say that it's user friendly. And I don't know. I just it was in my spirit to say, so I just said it. I don't know.
Okay, we'll talk about it tonight. I call you. I got to call High Def after this. I'll call you right after that, and then if you're available, we could bounce some ideas. And shout out to my man Brandon Phillips. Shout out to all the engineers out there, hella technical. See these brothers come showing up, man. That and then we have even Polish people that are in the chat right now from my Black and Poland series. They're in the chat room. A lot of likes. I appreciate all the love, man. Shout out to Kuba. I have people that are commenting right now that are in my city currently right now, which is Lublin, Poland. So they're watching right now. So shout out to you. I might see you guys in the street.
Hey, I forgot my Polish. Is it Do Widzenia?
Navi, is it Navizania or something like that? It's like goodbye. Yeah.
I haven't spoken in so long.
Yeah, Navizania, something like that. I don't know how to say it. But anyways, thanks for everybody, man, for the show, for all the support. We appreciate you. Let me go ahead and read some of the people, man, that donated. My man Ari from London, £2 True from Troy, $2. Edward DeRico, $2. Thank you. Pollard J090 says, I buy cheaper liquor, and that's my super chat, $2. Vernon Norfleet, thank you so much, $5. Howard Cooper out in Hawaii, knowledge is power. Hey man, thank you guys again for a great show. And Mr. Research, thank you so much. High Def, you will be getting a call. Pimpin'. All right, thanks so much, you guys. Peace out.